Thank you, Last Concorda. Concorda, I would firstly like to thank Deputy Billy Keller, who has brought forward this very practical piece of legislation tonight, and I think it's something that our country is really crying out for. Fianna Fáil is bringing forward the Civil Liberty and Courts Amendment Bill 2018 to the Dáil under private members' time to clamp down on the false, fraudulent insurance claims that are happening on a daily basis right across the country. The purpose of our bill is to amend Section 26 of the 2004 Civil Liberties and Courts Act and to provide that where a court that dismisses a case on the basis that it is a fraudulent act, that the court must refer the matter to the DPP. Fianna Fáil has long been calling for the reform in the insurance market. In 2016, a motion was placed by Fianna Fáil and passed by the Dáil and called on the government to reform the insurance market and to make it more transparent and to ultimately reduce premiums, because that's what this is ultimately about. Motor insurance customers, businesses, charities, sports clubs and many more people continue to face insurance premiums that are far in excess of what is justified or fair. According to the CSO, while premiums have reduced by 11% in 2017, since the start of 2012 premiums have increased by 31%. The government's response to rising insurance costs has been appalling. After nearly 2 years of raising this issue, we have yet to see any tangible responses from the government. The bill is a concrete proposal for combating the excessive cost of insurances for businesses and customers nationwide. When seeking to lower these costs, we must take into account the issue of fraud. While we acknowledge the right of genuine claimants to be fair compensation, false and misleading claims have negative consequences for Irish policyholders and further drive up the costs of insurance premiums across the nation. Cost of Insurance Working Group this year concluded that the major issue in personal injuries area is the lack of investigation and prosecution for fraud where it occurs. While the working group reported earlier this year that Section 26, the section specifically tasked with dealing with fraud under the 2004 Civil Liberty and Courts Act, it is not working effectively, and specific actions have not been committed to by this government to address the issue. The government has yet to establish a national claims information database, it has yet to tackle insurance fraud, and has yet to take any action on stabilising personal insurance claims. The government has not handled these issues very well, and I would urge you, Minister, to take on board what these measures are proposing. While the industry needs to be heard, so too do the countless customers who have been ripped off as their insurance premiums go through the roof. With our bill, we aim to remedy these issues while providing provisions in Section 26. We would allow that the court when the court has exercised its investigation function, if it determined had sufficient evidence for striking out the claim on the grounds of fraud, that there would be an opportunity for the DPP to take it up. The bill is another front in battling the excess cost of insurance premiums, and we look forward to getting cross-party support on this. But, Minister, needless to say, we all have experience of this, as my colleagues have alluded to, within our constituency offices and our clinics. We have business people coming in who are crippled with insurance costs, but also insurance claims. And I would say to you, Minister, the one thing that's hugely important, and I think it's absolutely bizarre that it happens, is that insurance companies do not liaise, consult or discuss with their policyholders when they decide to pay out a claim. That happens all the time. Somebody makes a claim, the insurance company takes it upon themselves to decide to make a payment, and the person who is the policyholder has no inkling that that's happening until after the event, and of course they pay the ultimate price when their insurance policy goes through the roof. I think that they should be compelled to discuss any claims or any settlements with their policyholder before a settlement can be made. Thank you, Minister.